Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Real Big Talk. I'm Rick. That is Lola. Beautiful fall day out there. Hope you're enjoying May 10th. What is happening? Why is it cold? Why it refuses to get hot and stay hot. I actually went out and did my, cleaned off my porch, did the whole thing, did all the seat cushions for the chairs, like everything, the whole nine. Like over a month ago. And it was 80. And now I haven't been able to sit out there since. It's very depressing to look at this stuff just like, hey, it's out here. Come sit on it. I'm glad it didn't blow away. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic weekend. Shout out to Wheeling Central. I know that they did not win the state championship, lost to Shady Springs, but certainly getting there is definitely an accomplishment, and congratulations to them. Bummer, but most teams didn't get there, and after the year that everybody had, just to get back on the floor, everybody deserves a round of applause just to get to that point, get into the state tournament. I'm just so glad it happened, and teams had a chance to win it legitimately. Last year, I remember when teams were taken off the floor in the middle of a game. So the fact that it actually rolled through and happened this year is obviously a good thing. And for Wheeling Central, I know a little bit of disappointment, but we're all proud of you. That was big stuff. Lola, did you have a good weekend?
Yeah. Cold, wet, but yeah, it was a good weekend.
I mean, come on, really? I mean, it just driving rain the whole time. The only good thing is that, my car got washed. By God, I appreciate that. Thank you. It needed it. But other than that, it was just cold and wet and rainy. Luckily, I spent most of my time inside this weekend was the big axe throwing championships, and I have to tell you, fun. It was incredibly fun. This weekend, I called for a broadcast company. I called the axe throwing championships. Normally, they have these in Canada, but since people can't travel across the border, Canada was having their own, and America was having its own. And for whatever reason, it got planted in Pittsburgh, and I was asked to do that. And I honestly, when I sat down Friday after I left here, I went straight there and had to be ready to jump on the air. Like the second I got there, and I was like, really. Now understand, this is like, I mean, you watch people play darts in a bar on a weekend that gets a little hectic. Maybe there's a couple dollars on the line for those that are into the illegal gambling, and it's like, that's a pretty interesting game. It's like that, like times 10,000. It was there were like people from all over the country were there. There was actually a guy. Listen to this. This guy moved down from Canada, like because you can move. If you're going to cross the border, you have to stay once you come here. This guy moved in advance to play enough in the United States because there's like a whole tracking system. So he could be ranked in the United States to have a chance to play in this tournament. That's for real. That's for real. Like, I would... Are you kidding? Some people move from state to state and don't even change their driver's license. This guy moved to America just so he could throw axes. And he got bounced in the second round. That has to be pretty disappointing. Like, look, I came to the land of the free to throw axes, and I lost right away. But other than that, it was actually pretty exciting. It came down to like the very possible last round, last throw. These two guys, they break out a big axe. Like they actually look like Paul Bunyan axes.
Really? They use that big an axe?
Well, they use hatchets. The first 5 throws are hatchets. And if it's tied after the 5th throw, they have to then go to their big axe. And boy, I tell you, when you say big axe in front of this crowd, they all scream big axe. They're very excited. It really occurred to me that I was purposely walking into a room full of people that brought weapons. Mm-hmm. Lots of them. Like there was a guy who had a coffin that he kept all his axes in. I mean, they took it seriously. It was fun. It was fun, though. It was fun. I was glad that I did it. It was certainly a unique experience, and I would do it again. 10 out of 10 would do it again. I ate a lot of pizza, though. You ever get in that rhythm where it's like you eat the same thing every single day for a couple days? I don't want to see a pizza again for a long time.
I don't blame you.
Oh man, well, I mean, it's like, and I ate it there on Tuesday for the training thing, and then Friday, and then Saturday, and I mean, look, the pizzas were good. They're like specialty pizzas. It's just now the thought of eating a slice of pizza right now, I think I'd rather go hungry. I say that, and I would totally eat it, but it was just so much pizza that I want to kind of go back and flip the script on that. But that's kind of where we were all weekend. It was pretty fun. And then yesterday, Mother's Day. And hopefully you treated your mother very well yesterday, everybody. My mom was treated to seeing the legend that she birthed. I got to go to look at you. You rolling your eyes at me. I got to spend about 2 hours with my mom yesterday at the nursing home. It was weird, too, because, last Mother's Day, nothing. My mother's birthday is actually in May, too. It's on the 22nd. So last year, couldn't see her at all. And this year I went, and it was just like, it's starting to feel a little less weird. I've been in the nursing home now, I think 3 times since the restrictions have lifted. And now, I mean, you still have to wear your mask and that kind of stuff, but it's starting to feel a little less weird, which is good. But hopefully every mother out there was treated right yesterday. I read a story about Mother's Day, and the founder of Mother's Day is from right here in West Virginia. So we'll talk about that a little bit of history lesson through the course of the afternoon. So let's go ahead and take a break, and we got a quick break coming up, and then I'll tell you about that in case you didn't know. I thought it was do you know the story?
Yeah.
Oh, do you? Okay. I mean, is it so much known that it's not worth going over?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I just thought it was really a neat story. So we'll talk about that when we come back right here on The Watchdog.
The Variety Show with Bill DeFabio is live on The Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We talk to some of the region's best business owners while keeping you informed about area events and happenings. You won't believe who I have on next. Tune in and get with the program. Guests from preachers to pros and even some Super Bowl champions. Join me, Bill DeFabio, from noon to 2 for The Variety Show on The Watchdog.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out. Choose from our in-stock selection, including pre-finished doors, or design your door for free in-store or online with our door designer. All Mastercraft door systems are 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through May 15th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts. Catch Biff Leonard on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Weekday morning, 7 to 10 a.m. Only on the Watchdog. Live and local talk radio. Just the way you like it.
And I ain't got nothing to say. I come home in the morning, I go to bed feeling the same way. I ain't nothing but tired. Man, I'm just tired and bored with myself. Hey, baby, I could use just a little. You can't start a fire. You can't start a fire. seconds fly higher. Even if we're just dancing in the dark.
Welcome back. It's 220 304 214 1600 304 214 1600. If you want to talk to us today, we'd love to have you. Talk about our topics or your own. Always welcome to bring your thoughts to the table. I'm Big Rick, that's Lola, and I really did not know the story of Mother's Day. I'll be honest with you, and this is, as I went on to read and find out, this is why the founder of Mother's Day actually hated it. I actually thought it was just a commercialized holiday. I had no idea the significance of Mother's Day and the fact that it actually started right here in West Virginia, in Grafton, actually. It was a Mother's Day service of worship at Andrews Methodist Episcopal Church in Grafton, and I had no idea about that in all the years that I had spent in West Virginia. But this was it's a really interesting story, and of course, it's a story of how something that was intended to be a day of service and opportunity turned into a commercialized holiday. Boy, America, we are bad at this. I mean, I just another one we just missed 5 days ago, Cinco de Mayo. Americans love to just steal Mexico's reason to go out and party. It's like we'll just commercialize anything. But the story of Mother's Day I thought was really very interesting, and the woman who created it, her name was Anna Jarvis. She ended up resenting the idea of what she had created because of the commercialization. Now, I think you got to take care of your mama every day, and I think a lot of people feel that way. But the recognition of what mothers do on Mother's Day needs to be something that, it's okay that it has a day to be celebrated, but we do commercialize the hell of it. Like my mom is a perfect example of this. My mom wants all the Mother's Day. Every bit of Mother's Day my mom can have, doesn't matter what it is. Special dinner, buy some gifts, card, flowers, balloons. I swear if I could have brought a clown in there to do some sort of entertainment, she would have wanted that. She soaks it up. She soaks it up. And like I said, her birthday's actually it's 12 days from now. So I will have to do the whole song and dance again in about 2 weeks. But yeah, I can understand why it gets so commercialized. Did you receive anything for Mother's Day? Did you get at least the call?
Yeah, I got the call. Last year, my kid evidently bought me a Mother's Day card and a gift card. And this is how bad he is. I get my Christmas card, and I thought, wow, this thing is really thick. Yeah, because he had the Mother's Day card and gift card in there, and then a Christmas card and a gift card.
Yes.
So, mine could show up anytime, any holiday, doesn't matter.
You know what? I can't make too much fun of that. This is a true story. I was cleaning out my when I moved away from Parkersburg. I moved to North Carolina, so I was getting ready to move out of my house and put it up for sale. And so I was cleaning off the top of my refrigerator, and lo and behold, I found a wedding card with a $100 bill in it that I never took to a wedding I went to.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I had no clue.
So did you just keep the 100?
At that point, yeah, I was just like,
were they divorced by then?
No, they weren't. They weren't, and they never said anything about me not bringing a gift, and I never got a thank you card, which, I'm not somebody who cares about that kind of stuff so much. But I felt really stupid. First of all, why did I put it on top of the refrigerator? And when I found it, I was just like, they've been married for 3 years now. So what is the protocol? Do I just go, sorry, here is for 3 months before your 3-year anniversary, here's $100. I don't know what to do with this, so I just pitched the card, kept the money, and we never spoke of it again. I thought that was the best way to do it. So I get it. Your son's not alone. He's not alone. If had I done that to my mom, though, here's what my mom did. My mom called me to make sure that she was getting the Mother's Day Spectacular. I mean, she called and put her lunch order in, everything. Like, even if I had a plan, I mean, I had gifts, but had I had a plan, she would absolutely was going to tell me what she wanted me to do. But it was fine. It was overall a good Mother's Day, but it is commercial. Oh. I mean, you can't go to any store. I mean, it's like, I saw Mother's Day plants. I mean, the idea of giving your mom flowers or a plant, that makes sense. Moms seem to like plants and flowers. I mean, I saw like in the gardening section, it was like, don't forget Mother's Day is May 9th. Here's like packets of seeds. Let her plant her own flower. I mean, it was just like you could stick Mother's Day on anything. Yeah. You're going out of the, you're checking out at the grocery store, and it's like on the little candy bars, like the impulse buy candy bars. It's just like, your mama has a sweet tooth, 2 for $1. It's like everything. They stick that thing on everything. And
yes, they do.
And it gets super commercialized. So just keep in mind, my birthday is June 20th. It's also Mask Freedom Day in West Virginia, and also West Virginia's birthday. So please, everyone, plan accordingly. I don't know if they'll put the signs out or not. But we could talk about, as we have a few minutes here before our break, we could talk about some of the things that did happen this weekend, started to charge up in the news early this morning. How about the Kentucky Derby winner? Did you read all of that stuff?
Yes, and and I'm very conflicted. It's not an illegal drug per se that you can't ever give it to a horse. They use it a lot during training because it's anti-inflammatory. He claims that horse has never been on it. They've never had to give that horse that particular, so there couldn't be no residual, no nothing. I'd be curious to say, well, he's going to check all of the, the camera footage around the horse's stall to see who came near it, because it's injectable. All he'd have to do is walk by and pop.
Have you not heard the excuse then?
Now what?
Oh, yeah. Bob Baffert, just to catch everybody up, Bob Baffert has won, I think, 7 Kentucky Derbies with different horses. So, I mean, if you know anything remotely, if you see anything remotely about the Kentucky Derby, there's a good chance the face you associate with that is Bob Baffert. He's that guy. And so they win, the horse wins, test positive for this substance, as Lola just said. It's not illegal for it to be given the substance, it's illegal for it to have it in the system during the race. After the race, it tests positive. And so, why? The question is why. He's saying this horse never had that, it was never given that, none of that stuff, whatever. He is now saying that one of the horse groomers, are you ready for this? One of the horse groomers was sick and taking cough syrup, which is something that you would find in the same ingredient of this banned substance for a race. And he went ahead and relieved himself on some hay inside the barn. Then the horse ingests the hay, therefore tests positive for the banned substance. So he's saying that one of the groomers is responsible because he couldn't find himself a restroom, goes on the hay finds its way into the horse tests positive. That might be, it's so outlandish.
It might be true.
It is, that's like a Scooby-Doo mystery. But
yeah, but you've heard of people that, has to take a drug test. And so they go out and they get, coffee and a poppy seed muffin, go do their drug test, and comes up for opioids because of the poppy seeds. Now, you would not think, that is, if somebody said, well, all I did was eat a poppy seed muffin, they go, yeah, sure, yeah, that's exactly what it was, Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that was one of the Seinfeld episodes. Elaine kept failing her drug test for Peterman because she kept eating the muffin tops with the poppy seed muffin tops. But yeah, this seems like such a crazy circumstance that
It
you
might.
that you couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. Boy, and here's the thing. The amount of money, and this is where I think this really is do I care who wins the Kentucky Derby? No. Did I watch it? I did. It's like 90 seconds. Like, it takes all day for something that's like
Yeah.
over in a heartbeat. But I enjoy the pageantry of it. I enjoy the funny hats. But there's so much money that gets circulated in and around the Kentucky Derby that if this horse is no longer the winner, how does that all shake out?
Oh, you don't have to. If you won big money, you don't have to pay it back. They can't make you pay it back. So, damn me again for not getting a betting app to work in time, because that's the horse I would have. And then that moves Chuck up to first place, which is going to screw all the odds up now for the next one.
Yeah.
You know, so, but, yeah. But you don't got to pay.
Well, those guys, the guys that ran on the field at the Super Bowl that bet that there would be a streaker and then created the diversion so there in fact was, and they won out. That is still going on. Whether they're going to get paid out. I mean, now they have once that story came out, you always pull a job by yourself. You never tell anybody if you're going to do that, ever. And so now that the story was out, there's a lot of contesting the idea of, are these guys going to actually get their payout? And they haven't received it thus far. But
see, that's different. That's a conspiracy. If you just bet on it, if that was one of the prop bets.
it was.
And, you know, how can, if you don't know them, that's just a prop bet. How are they going to track all this? Especially if you were at the track or, you know, at just a window. How are they going to track you?
Yeah, they'll never find you.
So.
But here's what I wonder. I wonder if the betting, because let's face it, money talks. I wonder how the screws will be put to Bathard, since he is the one that created this. Well, I mean, he's at least the responsible party.
Baffert is going to come out of this just fine.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
He
probably
has for the last umpteen years.
It
you
is
know?
amazing. That guy never loses. It seems like he never loses. Well,
I'll tell you, if I had for $1,000 horse, that's all he paid for that horse was $1,000. And you had all these multi-million-dollar Arabian stallions flown in from, you know, all these weird places. He's got a little $1,000 horse that just happens to fly like the wind. Fly like the wind.
Nobody's offered me that.
I would, if I had a horse, I would want Baffert to train it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would imagine you just couldn't afford to even get this guy's attention. But yeah, this was a fairly serious. I mean, it's not the first time that this has happened. It's not even the first time it's happened to Bathard. You know, the post race. I just think it's odd that they don't do these tests before the race and just say, hey, you don't get the race.
That's what was there a pre-race test? And with this post-race, they take blood and they split it in half. One gets tested, and if it comes back positive, then they test the other half. And, you know, now what if that comes back negative?
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody's hinky with all this, you know.
The fix is in. The fix is in.
You're talking, the money in this thing, the whole thing, not just, you know, what everybody like us were betting, you know, but otherwise, it's.
Oh man, this is a Scooby-Doo mystery. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. We're going to go ahead and take our break. When we come back, we'll get into some of the more serious topics from the weekend, and of course, as the day has progressed here, we got a list of stuff to get to, and some good stuff, some sports stuff, and you know, there's good, bad, and ugly, and everything, and we'll get to all of it today here on the Watchdog.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. Charleston Town Center Mall has a buyer, Mayor Amy Goodwin, announcing earlier today on 580 WCHS that the Augusta, Georgia-based Hull Property Group is buying it out. Hull Property Group owner Jim Hull was a guest earlier today on WCHS.
We're so excited, Mayor Goodwin, about joining the Charleston community, and that will entail us having our first property in West Virginia. And we think there's so much to be accomplished, and it's going to be a fun ride.
And with the purchase, Hull will own 33 malls in 16 states. Testimony is resumed in federal court Charleston in the opioid epidemic trial involving the city of Huntington and Cabell County. They are alleging that there was intentional pill dumping into southern West Virginia by 3 big drug distributors that contributed and created the opioid addiction problem. Sunday's winds packed a lot of punch, particularly across southern West Virginia. The National Weather Service reporting gusts exceeded 50 miles an hour at Yeager Airport, and that was enough to knock thousands out of power at the Appalachian Power West Virginia service territory. Several are still out today. Those outages just over 12,000, mostly in Kanawha, Putnam, Cabell, Lincoln, and Wayne County. Huntington Police Department welcoming 10 new probationary officers into their ranks. That group was sworn in earlier today. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Sentencing will be tomorrow in Clarksburg Federal Court for Rita Mays, the former employee of the Clarksburg VA, who admitted to murdering 7 patients. Attorney Tony Odell represents several of those victims' families.
She's in jail now, so even though there have been delays and the family want closure, the families want closure, I think they understand that Judge Klee is doing a job to make sure there's no potential for appeals and things like that.
So far, prosecutors have never been able to discover a motive. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Rory McIlroy held on to win the Wells Fargo Championship yesterday at 10 under par. He was 1 shot better than Abraham Answer. The win for Rory McIlroy was his first in 18 months and the 19th PGA Tour career victory for McIlroy. Victor Hovland and Keith Mitchell finished tied for 3rd. They were 8 under. The only multi-winner of the season for the NASCAR Cup Series, Martin Truex Jr. won for a 3rd time at Darlington yesterday. He held off Kyle Larson for the Darlington victory. Kyle Busch finished in 3rd place, while William Byron was 4th, and Denny Hamlin rounded out the top 5. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog.
To remind pet owners that Progressive covers pets in our auto policy at no extra charge, we're making a really cute pet-themed radio commercial. You gotta see this dog. It's a little puffball. It looks like a piece of cotton candy that I could just eat up. Oh, and it waddles when it walks. He's a little ducky dog. Oh, I wish you could see it. We really should have planned this better.
Get coverage for your pets with an auto policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Okay, my shipments have to get to customers on time and looking good.
It's possible with Staples Connect. Staples Connect has small business shipping covered with premium shipping supplies, custom labels, and UPS shipping services. And now, buy 2, get 1 free on decorative shipping supplies. Plus, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 5/29. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
It's time we put a stop to a few things. Right now, the DC establishment has all the power. The For the People Act will stop that. Billionaires buying West Virginia's elections, the For the People Act will stop that. Politicians and their families getting rich while we pay for it? Yep. The For the People Act will stop that too. Senator Manchin, you've always had West Virginia's back. Don't stop now. Stop corruption in its tracks and support the For the People Act, paid for by Represent Us. It's time we put a stop to a few things. Americans voting on machines that aren't made in America? The For the People Act will stop that. States using hackable voting machines with no paper trail? The For the People Act will stop that. Elections with no way to do careful audits or recounts by hand? Yep, the For the People Act will stop that too. Senator Manchin, you've always had West Virginia's back. Don't stop now. Stop election interference and support the For the People Act, paid for by Represent Us.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of Podiatric Medicine set broken bones, perform wound care, and remove bunions. Common health issues that they treat include ingrown or fungal nails, corns, warts, and skin problems like athlete's foot. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? To find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
Want to buy your own home but think you can't afford it? What if you got down payment assistance or a discounted interest rate just for being a recent college grad, teacher, nurse, or veteran? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency offers this and more, and our programs are always available for eligible Ohioans, big city, small town, and everywhere in between. Find out if you qualify at myohiohome.org. That's myohiohome.org. Home ownership, ready when you are.
This is Bill DeFabio, your host of the Variety Show with Bill DeFabio. Heard on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Join me from noon till 2 to talk sports, nostalgia, and hear from some of the legends of the game. You won't believe who I have on next. The Bill DeFabio Variety Show, heard on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tune in and get with the program. I'm Bill DeFabio. Join me for the Variety Show on the Watchdog.
Welcome back to the show. Real Big Talk continues here on the Watchdog. Lola is here. I am too. My name's Rick, and let's talk about this. 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600 is the phone number. And I read a couple stories about this over the weekend, including one in the Intelligencer. And I thought that it was kind of worth bringing up just because I never really thought of it this way until I saw a couple stories about it. So I thought it was worth a discussion. At what point are incentives to get vaccinated unethical? Now, we've seen and heard Jim Justice wants to give away the $100 savings bond to anybody who's 18 to 35 years old. Anybody 18 to 35 years old has no idea what a savings bond is, but Governor Jim wants to give you one anyway. I mean, of all things, just pick the oldest, timiest thing you can think of and try to use that as an incentive for people who have never heard of it. It's just like the whole thing is. I think people are more likely to just take $20 bills and be like, woohoo, $20. Like, they just don't know. Nobody knows what the hell that is. If you're 18 to 35, there's a good chance savings bonds are a thing that you've never heard of. And if you're over that, and if you're 35 plus, ask anybody who's under 35 if they have any idea what it is, and they probably won't. Probably won't. But again, this is not really about the savings bond, what I want to talk about, but there's incentives. There's incentives out there. Some companies are offering the opportunity to, hey, we'll pay you even though you're not here. Even if you take the day to go get vaccinated, you get, I think, 4 hours per shot for a lot of companies. I know some of the big retailers are doing that. And then I read the story in the Intelligencer over the weekend. I have the story pulled up here. And it was Howard Gamble, who is the Wheeling, Ohio County health administrator, who said vaccination is a medical procedure and it's very possible to be unethical in coercing someone to accept a medical procedure under duress. Now, there weren't a ton of comments. I read them all. Some people say, yes, it's bribing young adults. Some people say, just make a cool T-shirt. Maybe more people will see it and normalize getting vaccinated, which is the right thing to do. Those were the common themes of what I read in people's comments about this. What do you think? I mean, I guess I can understand where it sounds like it's trying to coerce somebody into getting vaccinated. I don't know that any amount of doable funds. I mean, we'll say it that way. Is a $100 savings bond going to make or break the state to give out to people 18 to 35? It's not. It's not going to happen, probably, by the way. But it's not make or break type of money. It's not, I will pay you $5 million to just get vaccinated. It's not that. It's just an incentive to do, honestly, what you and I both feel is the right thing. But I understand the idea of what's the limit? What's the limit? I mean, when you go to college, at least it used to be like this. When I went to college, as soon as you walked into the student union, I don't care where you went to college, there were credit card companies there offering you a free T-shirt or a free beach towel to sign up for a credit card, which a lot of us stupidly did and had to pay off when we became adults. That to me just seems like as much coercion as to do this.
Again, where's personal responsibility? If you're of that age and you choose to get a vaccine because somebody's going to give you something for it, you choose to do it. It's nobody's holding you down and taking a needle and shoving it in your arm. You can't have it both ways. Either you try and entice people because they just are being stubborn about it, or you just let it go. Let the mandates go away. Let everybody deal with it on their own. I mean, you can find something unethical about every single thing. It comes back to me with personal responsibility. If you want to be treated as an adult, then start making decisions that,
I obviously agree with you. I mean, at that point, at the point that I wanted to get vaccinated as quickly as possible, I would have paid for it. I would have, whatever,
me too.
Whatever it was, I would have gone the opposite direction and been like, and trust me, I know this may sound ridiculous to some, but had somebody called me and said, hey, you slip me a hundo, I can get you on this list on day 2. Yeah, here's $100. Give me the list. I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to grease palms to get on that list. And now it's funny that it's the other way. And it's not been that far since, you and I frantically looked to get vaccinated. It's not really been that long. I mean, the fact that so many people have already had the opportunity, whether they took it or not is a different story, but so many people have the opportunities. Now it's become walk-in clinics, like where it was scratch and claw your way to an appointment and hope that you get it. Now it's just like everywhere is a walk-in clinic.
Yeah, you can go to your local pharmacy and get a shot.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, there's no. When it becomes that, maybe some of the heat dies down from it. I don't know, because it becomes more of a casual thing, and obviously, I think for the 40% or whatever it is of America that's been vaccinated, maybe it becomes just like, well, all those people didn't die, so I could guess it's probably safe. I don't know. But I did think the stories about the idea of how the incentives work are interesting. I think we're an incentivized nation.
We want something for everything.
Everything. We want something for everything. The thing I want most is to never pay taxes again. What do I have to do to get that incentive? I never want to pay taxes again in my life ever. But yeah, I think that we are an incentive-driven nation who wants something for anything. Whether you think the vaccine is right or wrong, or you're indifferent to it, you haven't made up your mind, whatever it is, I do. I think we are a nation that wants incentives. Why should I do? What are you going to give me if I do? And yeah, I mean, I happen to personally think it's the right thing to do to get vaccinated, but you didn't have to give me anything. Like I said, I would have paid. I would have absolutely slipped somebody some cash to get on that list. I would have done it. We got a phone call back there, Lola?
Yes, we do. This is Jean Ann.
Hi, Jean Ann. Welcome to the show.
Hey, I listen to you guys all the time. I really enjoy your combination of people on air right now, you and Lola. Okay,
Thank you.
my comment is, again, it's not profound, but I, like you both, got the vaccination as quickly as I could. I didn't try to pull any strings, but I knew the risk either way was greater by not getting it. So it's what I could do, not just for myself, but I felt that herd immunity. Well, we always cross paths with people that say, oh, I'll never do it on it. It's not my place to tell anyone what they should do. Though I have an opinion, ask me and I'll always give it to you. But it's not beyond me either to throw a little shade.
Throw it. Yes, this is your time, girl. You throw that shade.
And my shade is sometimes, I think it's kind of effective because nobody's come back with any response in a negative way. I'm not sure they expected it. And my response is, well, that's your business, whatever you do. And there are all kind of conspiracy theories, etc. And I said, whatever information you gather is your business. I said, but I got mine. I said, after my gathering of, and I try to pave the way. And then I'll say, but I'll tell you what, whatever you decide, I've taken care of you and your loved ones. I went out on the limb. I got the vaccine, not just for me, but for you, your mom, your family, your children. For a little bit I could do. I said, so I took care of you.
Yeah, you know what?
That's a good comeback.
Yeah, Jean Ann, you want to just come in and jump in and be our guest host here? You can do that. I mean, we both, we both feel exactly what you just said. I mean, it is amazing to me, and I mean, the motivations for people to get it are different. Like you said, you look at it as taking care of yourself and the people around you just as much, and have a responsibility to do that. For me, I mean, I had pre-existing conditions when I had cancer, so my doctor flat out said, "This is for you. You go get it as soon as you can." And so, that's the way I approached it. But moreover, for me, it was about my mother. I mean, if I wanted to see my mother and keep my mother safe, who actually ended up having COVID and nearly dying, I mean, it wasn't. Even if they'd have said, you know what, hey, buddy, this is 50-50. Good luck. You're going to take it. Good luck. I probably still would have done it because it was so much for me about another person, and that person is my mom. So I agree with you 100%, and it's so hard to make people understand necessarily that if you don't want to do it, you're right. I mean, it is other people's business where they get their information. I mean, here's the thing: when when the New England Journal of Medicine, who has been trusted to come up with a hypothesis for so many things, and certainly has been leading the way as far as medical journals, says this is completely safe, and it's unbelievable how safe it is. And then when you get your information about how unsafe it is from like jimsnewsletter.com, it's like, but that's where some people, you're going to find the information that you want. If you want to be anti-vax, you're going to find a million articles out there from places that aren't established journals like the New England Journal of Medicine. But if you want that information, you're right. And I just don't know. I don't know what changes that down the road, but your explanation to people, I think, is wonderful. I think you should, if you found a way to condense that, I'd put it on a shirt and sell it on eBay.
I'm not a young chickie on the block anymore. I have a lot, and wisdom does come, I think, in degrees sometimes with age. But another thing is, I love hearing about your mother. God bless you for still having her. Mine we
Very
had
lucky.
through about her 92nd year, and I lost a sibling after, around the same time. And I'm by myself now. So what I have to do is realize that I know what it was like to be with them, and I was so glad that, I could do that, and my siblings. But I don't want to be that burden for anybody. I hope I go quickly, fast, and nobody has to come looking for me while she's not answering the phone.
Well, you know what? First of all, you're not by yourself. You got us. 2 to 5.
Oh, God bless you.
2 to 5. You got us.
And one last thing about Mother's Day. I actually like the I don't know if it's called commercialization, but I really like the promotion of remember, because we all know they're going to be gone. Sure. We're all going to be gone. But I also, what's your feeling about godmothers?
About God?
I don't have kids. But I've got several godchildren, and I remember them, but they're kind. They're sweet, but once my 100 years, did I ever get a godmother's card?
You know what? I actually am a godfather to a couple of kids, and certainly in my life, there's I have a lot of kids in my life that I absolutely think the world of, and I don't know. I guess I never really thought about it so much. Some people have godmothers and godparents regardless, and they're involved in a lot of, maybe not the everyday lives of their godchildren, but certainly enough. But yeah, I don't think people think about that at all. And it's funny too when you get older, and I don't know if this happened to you, but it certainly happened to me in really a very difficult circumstance. I lost somebody who was kind of like my second father. My real father died at 15, and then when I was in high school, another family just kind of, not that my mom wasn't around, but a 15-year-old kid needs a little bit of guidance from an adult man in his life. I totally felt like I needed that. So the right person came along, and I was very close to their family for quite a while. When he was gone, he died in the summer of 2017, and it was like absolutely crushing. And got rid. And so I wish I may have spent more time, on a Father's Day. It's like, hey, you're not my real dad, but man, I don't know that I could do this, without you. And so I think
they know that.
I think he knew.
Trust me.
Yeah, I do. I think he knew. I think he knew that. But yeah, sometimes we need to speak up and tell people how we really feel across the board. And we don't need a day. I don't need a Father's Day to remember my dad. I think about my dad probably 60 times a day before I even do this show by 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need a day so much. And the commercialization of it, again, like I said, I was walking out of the store and I saw your mom has a sweet tooth, 2-for-1 candy bars. That's just a blatant attempt to sell some candy bars. But, I think the fact that maybe some people do go overboard for their moms probably earned that. So I don't mind. I knew the point you were making, but I was just taking it, I don't know, I just see every day and every person that crosses your path and that you cross paths. I think it goes both ways. It's meant to be. There is, and I was an educator for many years, and I think lessons in life are things that you realize as your life moves on. And there's just a lot that you look back on, and that's what I do. And I could talk way too many things. You don't want to hear me start talking. Well, we're actually going to take a break, but you are always welcome to call this show. And like I said, from 2 to 5, you're not by yourself. You got us.
Okay, well, bless you both. I enjoy you, and you're an essential service, in my opinion, as well. So thank you for everything.
Thank you so much, Jean Ann. Take care of yourself. What a wonderful call to start off the week with. Fantastic. You guys call. Coming up in the next hour, we'll get some more topics. So bring your own to the table. 304-214-1600. This is The Watchdog.
Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Confirmation from the FBI that it was the Eastern European criminal gang DarkSide that's behind the ransomware attack that compromised the Colonial Pipeline. That's the pipeline that runs from Texas to New Jersey, carrying a good deal of the East Coast gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. President Biden today.
The Department of Energy is working directly with Colonial to get the pipelines back online and operating at full capacity as quickly and safely as possible.
His comments from the East Room, where he also announced additional steps to get Americans back to work.
President Biden announced Monday the rollout of $350 billion in federal funding for state, local, and tribal governments, money that was included in the American Rescue Plan, the $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package he signed into law in mid-March.
He's going to make it possible for an awful lot of educators, first responders, sanitation workers to go back to work.
The funding can be used for COVID mitigation efforts, hiring public sector workers, direct aid for residents facing food or housing insecurity, small business assistance, and education. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accusing Hamas of crossing a red line in rocket attacks on Jerusalem and promising a tough response. Gaza Hamas militants were firing rockets into Israel after Israeli police clashed with Palestinian worshippers. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki.
We are continuing to closely monitor the violence in Israel. We have serious concerns about the situation, including violent confrontations that we've seen over the last few days.
And today, Gaza health officials say 9 people, including 3 children, have died in a blast in the northern Gaza Strip. Unknown if that blast was from an errant Hamas rocket or an Israeli reprisal. Medina Spirit's scheduled to run in Saturday's Preakness despite failing a drug test after winning the Kentucky Derby. Trainer Bob Baffert suspended by Churchill Downs while the case is investigated. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
It's a first in any of the major U.S. Christian faiths. The Evangelical Lutheran Church electing a transgender person as a bishop. The Reverend Megan Rohrer will serve in the Sierra Pacific Synod, covering Northern California and Nevada. And the Biden administration has reversed a policy regarding the gay and transgender community.
The Department of Health and Human Services reaffirming that federal laws forbidding sex discrimination in healthcare also protect gay and transgender people. The announcement is a rollback of a Trump administration policy that tried to narrow the legal protections against discrimination in health by issuing rules that define sex as gender assigned at birth. Hospitals, clinics, and other medical providers can now face government sanctions for violating the policy. ABC News, Washington.
Ford recalling SUVs over something that could pose a threat on the road.
Over 620,000 Ford Explorers are being recalled in the U.S. alone because roof rails could fly off while driving, causing a danger to those who are around Explorers. Retention pins can come loose and allow the rails to come off. The recall covers 2016 to 2019 model year Explorers. The fix is relatively simple. A dealer just has to install push pins to keep the rail down and check for any broken rail clips. Ford says it's not aware of any accidents or injuries, but there have been cases of roof rails coming off while driving. Alex Stone, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
If the new Oral-B IO electric toothbrush had a theme song, this would be it.
I think you're gonna wanna see this.
Oh, you're gonna want to see it, all right. Only IO technology combines Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head with gentle micro vibrations for a clean that'll
Make you say wow.
Exactly. Get the wow of a professional clean feel every day with the new Oral-B IO.
You're gonna see what everybody's talking about.
Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
On the Ohio News Network, I'm Daniel Barnett. People may have different comfort levels when it comes to getting back to a new normal without worrying as much about the coronavirus. Angela Ann with affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus has the take from a local doctor.
Dr. Anoop Kanodia of Ohio Health says the easiest thing to do when it comes to your safety is to really check with the latest CDC guidance.
Your life is pretty much almost back to normal to a large extent after the vaccine. And your kids' lives are close to normal too, in many regards, because of they have less chance of getting the infection, and if they do get the infection, a lot less chance of getting a serious infection.
56% of American adults have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. I'm Angela Ann.
And the Ohio School Board Association has a new president. ONN's Eric Brown explains.
Robert Hurd will take over as president after the resignation of Scott Huddle. The Dayton Daily News reports that at a Mad River School Board meeting, Huddle said there was no evidence of systemic racism after a school newsletter was distributed with columns, poetry, and discussion questions about diversity. He compared the newsletter to critical race theory, calling it reverse discrimination and comparing the articles to Nazi education. Hurd primarily serves as a member of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District Board of Education. Eric Brown, ONN News.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
304-214-1600. Call the Watchdog with your thoughts. We'll be right back to Local Talk.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it.
Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim
Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8430, and add them on Facebook.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your start to the work week. Clouds and sunshine mixing. Daytime highs near 60 degrees. Overnight low rather chilly, near 37, under partly cloudy skies. Clouds and sunshine mixing again for your Tuesday, with highs in the upper 50s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. It's not red. It's not blue. It's just real. Real Big Talk with Big Rick continues now on the Watchdog.
Welcome back. It's 3:10. I'm Rick. That's Lola. Real Big Talk continues here on the Watchdog. 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600. That's our phone number. You can also get in touch with us via our Facebook page. If you're not much of a talker, but you do want your opinion heard, I check our messages while we are on the air. So you can get at us at the Watchdog on Facebook and just hit the message, send it to us, and I will check it and read your comments on the air if you're not someone who wants to jump in the conversation. This is a conversation I can't even believe we're going to have. And I remember when this happened, and I thought, I can't believe that's a thing, and now I can't believe we even have to mention this again. But it's honestly better than the last time we talked about it. Gay and transgender people will be protected from discrimination in healthcare, as according to the Biden administration announced this morning, effectively reversing a Trump-era rule that went into effect last year. The announcement from the Department of Health and Human Services concerns one of the most notable parts of the Affordable Care Act. And basically, it's saying that it prevents healthcare providers and insurance companies from discriminating on the base of color, race, national origin, sex, age, disability, or in certain health programs and activities. Here's the thing. Why do we even have to say this stuff? I mean, if a human being needs medical help or needs medical services, emergency services, just do it. They're human beings. Why? I can't, I guess I don't know, and maybe I will often admit being too naive to do this show effectively, because I just feel like this is dumb. Why was this ever a thing?
Well, that was a question that was asked when the limits were put on last year. Why is this even a thing? But why are states dealing with this?
The transgender sports bill.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not even a thing.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever had a problem with it. Why are you fixing stuff that ain't broke?
Yeah. You're right. Nobody would have brought it up. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't get why this is. And I will go out on a limb here, not being a doctor and not taking a medical oath, but I'm 1,000% sure there's something in that doctor's oath or medical oath about I don't enforce policies. I take care of sick people.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares? If someone comes in with a broken leg and they're black and transgender, you think it's like, check too many boxes, sorry. No, that doesn't happen. They just fix your leg. They just fix your leg. And whatever may be from a healthcare provider, whether it be a gigantic bill for doing so, is probably another thing that probably needs looked at and fixed. But at the end of the day, these are just basic human needs that should. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I know that there are some people out there. There may be even some people that listen to the show. I bet a lot of people listen to the show and they're confused as hell about me. They're like, "What is this guy? Some sort of weird liberal that carries a gun?" I don't understand. Like, they don't get it, and I get it. I cannot be defined by a party. I trust me. Nobody feels that more than I do. I don't know. But I do look at everything on a case-by-case basis, and there's no reason that I'm ever going to think anybody who is not just straight or white should be taken care of in a medical capacity. I don't know. I'm just astonished that we have visited this particular thing twice in a year. I'm astonished.
Well, I'm glad it was revisited.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. Of course I'm glad it was revisited. I just, for all the things out there in the world that need fixed, and boy, that is a heavy, heavy list. People celebrated this going into effect, and now we're celebrating it going out of effect, and I'm thinking we probably could have just skipped both celebrations and just went on with our lives. Why did we point this out? And I feel the same thing about the transgender sports bill. I mean, obviously the healthcare side of this is very important, but this is healthcare to all. anybody who would need it should not be discriminated against regardless. I mean, if a kid walks in off the street, your first concern if he walks into a hospital is, well, I wonder if this kid has insurance, and boy, I surely hope he's not gay. No, you help it. It's a kid. And with the sports gender bills this happened here. It happened here. Welcome people from other places. By the way, we have laws that are going to set us back 50 years. That still befuddles me. Come to West Virginia. Here's $12,000 to move to this state.
But don't you be transgender.
Yeah. Yes. I wonder, I almost wanted to sign up for the program, or at least sign somebody up for the program just to see the information that comes back. Because I wanted to know, are there a list of things you can't be? Well, I mean, think about it.
I get it. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, nobody, and I hate to break this to everybody look, I don't understand what it's like to be transgender either, because I'm not. But that doesn't mean that I don't. And I will even go as far as to say I don't care how it feels, because it's not my path. But I care about people's paths who it is. I'm not trying to figure it out. I got enough to figure out. I don't even know how to figure myself out. But I know that everybody's struggling. Everybody's trying to figure something out. And if you are trying to welcome people into the state, I got news for you. Commuter work is now all the rage. Go to a big city 1 year from now, and I drive in at rush hour and drive out at rush hour, and I bet it will feel immensely different than it used to. Because more than half the people, and I'll just use Pittsburgh for the example since it's right there, and I've done it a million times, half the people that used to have to do that don't have to anymore. They don't have to anymore. This is all going to change. So yeah, there are a lot of people that can just live anywhere. Yeah, I can work for IBM and live in Pittsburgh. I could work for Google and live in Cleveland. I mean, you can just do that now. And so all these people, they want to move to West Virginia. I guess the powers that be just don't realize that sometimes people are transgender. Or their kids. I mean, right now, think about it. Two of the biggest stars in the world right now, Dwayne Wade, basketball legend, has a child who is transgender. And I mean, it's not a money thing. It's not a confusion thing. It's a thing. You don't have to understand it, but you do have to accept the fact that it's a thing. And there are people out there that could probably really enjoy this state, but they're never going to move here. They're never going to move here. They keep seeing this stuff pop up, and it's like, wait a minute. You're trying to get tech companies to move here? I got news for you. Tech companies have a lot of people that are different than just straight. They're not coming here. They're not coming here. But the whole thing with the healthcare, that it even needed to be said, and then again, the whole thing with the fact that we're going backwards and signing bills that don't allow transgender kids to play sports. Now, I don't know. Well, they're allowed to play sports. I need to. If I'm going to say it, I need to say it right. They're allowed to play sports. They just have to play in the sport designated as what their birth certificate says. So, again, the understanding of it, I couldn't possibly describe it to you. I couldn't possibly. But I know kids are kids, and being a kid is hard enough to figure out. And if you're going through something like that and you're trying to figure it out, and the thing you like to do is shoot hoops. I like to shoot hoops. I was born a little boy. I don't feel like that. I feel like a girl. I act like a girl. I dress like a girl. I want to be a girl. But I can't go play sports with the other girls. When does that come up? Well, I mean, it's not like there's a big pile of incidents where that has come up so much, or even in some cases, in some places, at all.
No, yeah.
That we have to have a law for it before it happens. Like, we'll pull the trigger on a law before something is ever needed, and then we'll let something go forever until it destroys people, like opioids. I mean, you want to talk about how prepared we're not for that? It's like, oh, look at all these Boy, it looks like opioids have done a number on West Virginia. We should probably start fighting back now. Way to go. Way to go. But that, for damn sure, that little boy who decided that he felt like living his life as a girl better not touch a basketball on these courts. No way. So stupid. This is the most backward-ass thing I can think of.
They have rolled this state back in the last few years, so far back, with laws that are really restrictive to a lot of people. It's unbelievable to me.
And then they open it up and say, come on and move here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
either.
I don't see how those two things work together hand in hand at all. At all. I mean, unless it almost feels like, and I hate to say this because I don't feel this way, but it almost trying to make it feel like some sort of only right-wing utopia.
Yeah.
And it like, hey, if you don't like living in a progressive California, look, I don't want to live in California too, because I don't want anything to do with California. I like to drop into LA for 3 days, see some friends, and get the hell out. So I don't want to live there either. But this country seems to be picking its spots to where move here because you don't have to deal with any of those things that you don't like. We don't like transgenders. Here is a transgender safe state. I hate this. I hate this. There's a lot of places around this country I'd like to go. And obviously West Virginia is one of them. No matter how hard I try, I just don't leave. I don't know. I just wish everybody could feel like they were welcome. But I can imagine that they don't, and I don't blame them. And this whole thing with the healthcare, the fact that this even had to be said, it's just kind of sad. I mean, playing basketball is one thing, and I'm not going to weigh the severity of one to the other because I think they both matter. But healthcare, having to make sure that transgender and gay people know that healthcare is available to them in 2021 is a sad state of affairs to me. That is a sad state of affairs to me. That shouldn't even be a thing that needs to be said out loud. Like, don't stare directly in the sun with your naked eye. Well, you do that once and you go, I'm not going to do that again. You learn. And now it's an unwritten rule. Once you tell a kid, hey, don't look up at the sun, they do it. Obviously, a kid does it, and then you go, oh, no, it's not for me. Be going blind's not for me. Well, that to me just seems like an unwritten rule. Once you learn it once, it's forever your rule. Yeah. And now this is not. I don't know. We'll take a break. Come back. We'll talk about other topics. You want to talk about that? Let's talk about it. 304-214-1600. If I'm wrong, tell me why. You're welcome to. Your difference of opinion is welcome on this show. But I just, again, I don't see how this could be something, the transgender sports thing. I can see how people have a legitimate conversation about that and go, well, I just don't think it's right. A lot of people will, quote religion as far as that goes. You're welcome to do all those things. But no one's going to be able to call here and convince me otherwise on healthcare. That's just human stuff. We have healthcare and humans need it. You give it to them. And it's just the way I feel about it. We'll come back after this break right here on the Watchdog.
We all know that restaurants and other businesses are having a hard time finding employees in this post-pandemic world. Is it because of too generous unemployment benefits from the federal government, or are there other factors at work? Tomorrow on the Watchdog Morning Show, we'll talk with WVU economist John Deskins about his thoughts on that subject. Also tomorrow morning, we'll check in with our national correspondent Tom Squitieri on the latest happening in the political world. And your calls and your texts and my opinions. Howard Monroe here. See you in the morning, 7 o'clock, the Watchdog Morning Show.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at OIG Hello,
it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
Follow us on Facebook for the latest news, show updates, podcasts, alerts, and live video streams from the Valley's only network dedicated to local, community-driven talk radio, The Watchdog.
Midwestern boy on his own. She looked at him with those soft eyes so innocent and blue. He knew right then he was too far from home. He was too far from home. She took his hand and she led him along that golden beach.
The legendary Bob Seger, was his birthday a couple of days ago. I maintain that Bob Seger did it right. He went out when he could still perform at a very high level. Very high level. Not all artists do that, but Bob Seger did. And I saw his sixth from last show, which of course was a week that wrapped up in his home city of Detroit. And it was fantastic. It was just still so good. So if you have not been out driving over the weekend or just maybe left your house for the first time today and you are looking to fill up, you will pay more for gas. Now, that is not news. Gas has been going up. It leveled off there for, I don't know, a week or so, and then now it is going up again. In Pennsylvania, I paid $3.09 per gallon. West Virginia, I think it was
$2.89.
Okay, so it was still $2.89?
Yeah, well, I hope.
Yeah, I was going to say,
get gas.
I usually stop at the Highlands and get gas because it makes more sense to me. It's cheaper than me paying to fill up in Washington. And I think I said $3.09 is what I paid yesterday, and I didn't look today at the Highlands because I didn't stop. But it's probably at least $2.89 or more.
That's what it was last night.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Yeah, so it's probably in and around there. Well, it is going to go up everywhere. There was a cyber attack on the pipeline that runs about 45% of oil to the East Coast.
Oil, gas, and jet fuel.
Yeah.
I mean, they got
The trifecta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking about horse racing earlier. They got the trifecta. Oil, gas, jet fuel. So if you need to take that last-minute flight, it's probably going to be a little more expensive too. But this is kind of a big deal. We will see gas prices go up because this pipeline was shut down. And this is according to a cyber criminal gang that they said this was the gang that did this. This is one of the weirdest sentences that I think I'm ever going to say about a cyber attack. Our goal was to make money and not create problems for society. That's what Dark Side, which is the cyber gang, criminal gang, that's what they wrote on their website. Our goal was to make money and not create problems. What the hell did you think was going to happen? I mean, honestly, I would rather you just went, hey, we got some locks in on this, so if you don't pay us a big pile of money, we're going to do it. And then that way the jet fuel flows. And then you still get paid. But yeah, they went ahead, they did it, and now, oh, we didn't realize it was going to create problems. Our bad. Like, if you're going to hold something for ransom, it is going to create problems for everyone, especially if it's the one way everyone goes everywhere. Oil, gas, jet fuel. So the U.S. Issued emergency legislation Sunday afternoon after the Colonial Pipeline was hit with a ransomware cyber attack. The pipeline carries 2.5 million barrels a day. Like I said, that's about 45% of the East Coast supplies of diesel, petrol, and jet fuel. The operator took itself offline on Friday after the cyber attack, and they're still trying to restore the service as we speak. I did read a couple of different places. Now, keep in mind, this is Alabama, where I read from friends of mine in Alabama that were saying that their local gas stations are out of gas. My suggestion to everybody is, if you can, fuel up on your way home, wherever you're going from. Just fill up your cars. I'm not trying to create panic, havoc, none of those things. None of those things. But it's not going to be any cheaper tomorrow than it is today. I mean, I remember thinking that I always, it's like, well, if I'll just get it on my way to work at the Highlands. Well, if I get to the Highlands one day and there isn't any gas, then I'm not going home. I live here now. I live right here at the radio station. So
you could swim across the river with me.
Yeah, I was going to say we might just you might want to get a boat. You
right. Then you're going to row it. You got a choice. You can walk it or row it.
Yeah, well, that's true. I like my chances at rowing. I think I would have been a good person to stand at the end of the boat and yell at the rowers. I don't know that I'd be so good at actually rowing it. There are a lot of things that obviously are going to go up in price, but I saw this. I perused the Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if you guys do that, but I sell and buy and trade a lot of stuff. I don't know, for whatever. It's almost a hobby. Really. It's not so much that I'm out there seeking the end-all, be-all of anything. I just sometimes, like, I have something, I'll trade it to somebody for something else I got my eye on. So I go to the Facebook Marketplace a lot. You know what's very hot there right now? Well, you remember right before Christmas, everybody was trying to get one of those new PlayStations.
Yes.
It was like you could buy them for $500 and people were selling them for upwards of $2,000.
Yeah.
The hot item now? Chlorine tablets.
And why? I don't understand what chlorine has to do with anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I know it goes into pools.
Sure.
I
don't know if it's a lack of production because, everything, obviously shut down for a while. And I don't know if the bulk of chlorine tablets is made during the winter. I really don't know that I understand the explanation behind it, but I do know that everybody is expecting a chlorine shortage. In my I mentioned this before, in my neighborhood, people were having pools put in last summer left and right or into the fall, really, because it was like, pools are a little cheaper when you buy them in the fall, and you just have to basically stare out your window at it until you can open it in the summer, which, of course, is still not summer. It's like 54 degrees outside. So, but yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that people can't get is chlorine. So I saw like 4 or 5 actually in the Facebook Marketplace, and it's like a bucket of chlorine tablets. $250. Now, I don't know what they usually cost because I don't have a pool, but I read the comments, and the comments were like, are you serious? What's wrong with you? This is what, people like you make this so, like, just slamming people. And the dude that's selling it was like, don't buy it. Somebody else will. It's,
There was a fire at a huge chlorine producing plant.
Oh.
And that's part of it, including, COVID. It was shut down, and then there was this fire.
Well, how bad do you think that smelled? A fire at a chlorine plant? Oh, God, the smell.
You can use bromine and salt water.
To make
to make your pool safe.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I would imagine too. A lot of the pool places probably are scrambling to find out. There's other things like some people have saltwater pools, so I don't know if they have. I don't think they have chlorine in them.
No, you don't put chlorine.
Yeah, so I mean,
that salt water carries its own huge set of problems. If you've ever had a boat that has been stored in the ocean, it's not.
No, I don't necessarily know. Like I said, pool maintenance is not my thing. I've never had a pool, and honestly, even if I had the money to put one in, I probably wouldn't. I'd never use it. I'm never there. It would just like, wow, look at this big thing I have to take care of and never get to enjoy in my backyard. I mean, that's what it would be like for me. But yeah, I saw that. That's right now what people are doing. It's like all about. Yeah, I mean, it's like street corner deals. Hey, I got 7 chlorine tablets.
Folks, don't worry. If you go to Ogilvy all the time or any of the city pools, the recreation director assured everyone that they have enough chlorine.
Oh, there you go.
So you don't have to be concerned about it. We had a pool for a while, and I'll tell you, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I just thought I mean. It's not one more thing that I want to deal with, but that's the hotness right now is shaking people down for chlorine cash. That is the hotness. We're going to go ahead. We'll take our break here, and we'll come back. If you guys want to talk to us about any of these subjects, you can, or we'll get into more. 304-214-1600. This is The Watchdog.
The West Virginia Mountaineers drop another Big 12 series despite a very promising start. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Zangrilli. Ernie Galuski will join me to recap it coming up after this from Kroger.
Did you know that 1 in 8 Americans struggle with hunger? Yet more than 40% of the food we produce is thrown out. At Kroger, we know we can do something about this. We're donating more food to local food banks through our partnership with Feeding America. And we're working with World Wildlife Fund to end food waste. But we can't do it alone, and we hope you'll join us in creating a world with zero hunger and zero waste. Visit thekrogerco.com to learn how you can help.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on backyard favorites like grill-ready hamburgers and fresh-picked strawberries? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales. Plus, rewards like fuel points, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Well, Ernie, West Virginia was in the driver's seat on Friday, grabbing a 7-1 win behind a terrific outing from Jackson Wolf. He struck out 11. Then you go to the Twin Bill played on Saturday, hard to sweep, and Oklahoma did. 11 innings, they grab an 8-7 victory over West Virginia. And then the nightcap, all Sooners, 9-1. They defeat WVU. Mountaineers were no hit until the 9th inning.
Yeah, and it looked so promising on Friday night. The Mountaineers play great baseball, get a big win, come out on Saturday, game 1 of a doubleheader, take an early 4-1 lead, hit a home run and a double in the first inning, and you think they're in control of the game, but it just slips away from them late. They climb back in it, but then eventually drop it in 11 innings. And then game 2 of such a long day at the ballpark, the Mountaineers were really never in the game, collecting their first hit to lead off the 9th inning.
So where does West Virginia go from here?
Well, you have to show up Tuesday and try to win an in-state battle against Marshall, and then you have to try to win your last 3 games at home next weekend against Miami of Ohio, and try to feel good about yourself before you head to Austin to finish the Big 12 regular season.
And that's likely going to be a play-in game, 8 and 9 in the Big 12 tournament. All teams making it this year, usually it's the top 8, the 9th left out, but all 9 are going. There's going to be a play-in game that first night. West Virginia, in all likelihood, is going to be playing in that game. So the Mountaineers dropping 2 of 3 to the Oklahoma Sooners, which started as a promising Friday night. WVU unable to capitalize on Saturday on the momentum, and they fall 2 out of 3. Winning 7-1, falling 8-7 and 9-1 in a 3-game series against the Oklahoma Sooners. With Ernie Galuski, I'm Dan Zangrilli. That's today's Mountaineer Report, brought to you by Kroger here on MSN, the Mountaineers.
This is your VSIN action update on the Watchdog. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit failed a post-race drug test for an excessive amount of an anti-inflammatory steroid. Trainer Bob Baffert banned from entering horses at Churchill Downs. Baffert denies the allegations and even giving the horse the steroid. The investigation is ongoing. Medina Spirit entered into the 146th running of the Preakness at Pimlico this weekend. Baseball today, the Pirates, losers of 8 of 10, $1.25 underdog against Cincinnati at PNC Park today. The total is 8 shaded to the over. Mitch Keller for the Pirates against Jeff Hoffman of the Cincinnati Reds. For vsin.com, I'm Mike Sennett on the Watchdog.
Refresh your home with a new coat of paint from Menards. Dutch Boy Forever Paint and Primer in One offers exceptional hide and fade resistance for a beautiful color that lasts. Its advanced all-weather formula protects the painted surface from the harshest of weather conditions. Save 11% on Dutch Boy Forever exterior paint. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through May 15th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
The Variety Show with Bill DeFabio is live on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We talk to some of the region's best business owners while keeping you informed about area events and happenings. You won't believe who I have on next. Tune in and get with the program. Guests from preachers to pros and even some Super Bowl champions. Join me, Bill DeFabio, from noon to 2 for The Variety Show on the Watchdog.
Welcome back. It's 3:45. Lola is here. I'm Rick, and this is Real Big Talk on the Watchdog. We were talking before the break about things that are lacking, like chlorine tablets. A lot of people are scrambling to find them as pool season is amongst us. I saw this too. Chick-fil-A released a statement saying that no extra sauces will be coming through the Chick-fil-A drive-thrus. No extra sauces. Apparently, the Chick-fil-A sauce and the Polynesian and such also running low on that stuff. I know. I got, my mom wanted chicken nuggets yesterday. of all things, but that's whatever she wanted is what I got her. And when I went and drove through McDonald's, and I actually asked for extra sauce, and in the 20-piece McNugget, because we split them, they gave me 3. They lightened. To me, 5 nuggets, all I get out of 1 cup of sauce. 5 well-addressed nuggets, 1 cup of sauce, which would equal 4. They only gave me 3, even though I asked for extra, because I didn't know how much my mom wanted. Yeah, getting light. And now Chick-fil-A is doing the same thing, getting light on their side. At least they told us, though. They at least put that out there. One thing that is actually creating a huge issue is housing. The housing market is frantic. Now, I went through this just as recently as, I guess, started the process on the house that I bought in August. So, I mean, we were well into the pandemic, but not where we are now. And houses were tough to come by then. Now they are nearly impossible. The housing market is just booming, and it's booming everywhere. It's booming everywhere. For me, living in Washington County, PA, a lot of Allegheny County residents, which is where Pittsburgh is, wanted to move out of it. So it wasn't a lot of, oh, we have this big influx of people moving. A lot of people just wanted to move out of Allegheny County. So, to know, and I knew I wanted to live in Washington, so that's where I was going to look regardless until I found the place that I wanted. But now there is something that's happening that really is kind of unpredicted and people not really sure what to do about it. Buyers are swooping in on the first day. If something goes onto the market, people are, coming in hot. And what a lot of real estate agents are doing is they are putting the house at asking slightly under because they're hoping for the bidding war. And they're getting it across the board. And one of the new things that was certainly not a thing, and I wouldn't have done this either, is now people are offering to skip the home inspection. Hey, whatever's wrong with it's fine with me. I mean, it's pretty crazy. We'll get back to this subject here in a minute, but is it Bob from WTRF? Bob, what's going on?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good, pal. How are you? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Yours?
Not too bad. I probably could register a complaint with Dr. Dave over the rain, but other than that, I thought it went pretty smooth.
Yeah, a little bit of rain. Yeah, a little bit of rain.
Looks like a better week ahead, though, weather-wise.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're working on it. Might be even get back to close to normal temperatures. So,
well, nice.
Dr. Dave, Zach, and Aaron are all working on that this week.
All right, it sounds good. What are we looking for on WTRF today at 5?
All right, we're working on a story. A woman called 911 out of Belmont County for a domestic violence call, and it leads to an arrest and a dog's death. If you had seen the story on WTRF.com, you know that Brian Strain was outside when they arrived, and the female was inside the residence bleeding, but was okay. They went to check on the female, and the deputy was actually bitten by the homeowner's dog. When they tried to force the dog, ended up shooting the dog twice. So Strain is now in the Belmont County Jail. So we'll be following up on that incident to see what's happening and how the deputy is. So that is a story we continue to follow. A couple other things we're following. Rita May, the woman involved in the death at the VA hospital in Clarksburg, she is to be sentenced tomorrow, so we will be there for that as well.
Yeah, that is not a good story. Neither one of them are good stories at all. My goodness.
No.
The world is a scary place these days, Bob.
Yeah, some days it is. Some days it is. Today is one of those days.
All right. Well, we will look forward to all this stuff coming up here today at 5 at WTRF News following this program.
All right, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Bob. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, it's sometimes. Honestly, we don't talk about those types of stories because I'm not built to do it. I'm not built to do it. I just can't. Anything that endangers an animal or a child, I seriously just want to flip the desk. I can't talk about that stuff. I will say this, for anybody that has to do that, I know plenty of news people. We talked to Bob pretty much every day, but just I know how that affects a lot of news anchors. When I was in Florida, we had 3 television stations in the complex that I worked in. There was 8 radio, and 3 television stations. And it was weird because the Spanish station, we had a Spanish television station, and the Spanish news was never bad. They were always happy. All the news anchors on the Spanish stations that I met, they were always happy. Like I shared like an area with 2 of the girls that did Spanish news, and like they were always so happy and bubbly. And I'm like, this must never be bad news over here. Like, how do you guys? They're just like, we just talk about fun stuff. But the other news anchors that I knew were just, they were affected by stuff like that. I don't know. I couldn't do that day in and day out. I mean, here I could talk about real estate and dumb things and I mean, we do talk about serious subjects, but man, when it gets into kids or animals, I can't do it. We'll get back to the conversation we're having though, and it was about real estate. And right now, the real estate market is so hot that people are putting in offers on homes, and they are no longer basing it on home inspections. They're skipping the inspections. Like, I want this house so bad, I don't care what's wrong with it. I don't want to have someone. First of all, I think that is a terrible idea. That is someone involved in this radio station is currently going through this. And like I said, I just went through buying a house last year. No, don't do that. Don't skip the inspection. You may pay out $500 to find out the house that you're trying to buy is just fine. Spend the $500 and find out if the house is just fine. Because if it's not, you could be spending thousands. I bought my first house in Parkersburg, and I had the inspection, but one of the things they didn't do, because it's not part of the home inspection, was check the gas line from the street to into the house. Well, the house was built in like 1940 something. So it was the original pipe down there, and it had corroded, so it was creating a gas leak. And so when I went to light the pilot, I had to have the gas company come out, and they're like, oh yeah, there you go, there's $1,500 right, just right away. So the things that can pop up are immense. But I just think this is a terrible idea, and I guess this is kind of like the new norm for the housing market right now. And a lot of times people are coming in with just straight up cash offers. That to me is just remarkable. I mean, I have no idea what it's like to just have baller dollars, but that's what that is. Like, I have a 1-bedroom condo in Morgantown, and I've mentioned this to you before. I ain't never going back. They could come in here and tell me I don't have a job tomorrow, and the next job offer I get is in Morgantown. The answer is no. No. I will get a cardboard box and live in Wheeling or Washington. I'm not ever moving back to Morgantown, but now's a good time to sell it. So I kind of like floated out that it was put on the market. I got 2 calls like right away about it. And one guy, this is not a $500,000 property or anything, but the one guy was like, well, could we do a better offer if it's a cash offer? You want to throw that cash my way? Yes, we can. Yep. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable the way this stuff is going. You can't find it. The real estate agent that sold me the house called and said, do you love your house? And I said, oh yeah, thanks for checking up. But yeah, this is where I'm going to live. Probably forever. And she said, I just wanted to make sure because we could relist that house today and you guys would be golden. I was like, they're actively calling people just to make sure that they feel like the house that they just bought is the house that they want. That to me is just crazy. And renting prices are through the roof.
Yes, they are.
I don't know what the solution is to all of this. And I'm just kind of throw this in here as we're getting towards the end of the hour. But, for all the stimulus stuff that has come out, one of the things that I thought was the best move that could have been made by any administration, Trump or Biden, is to make sure people don't get evicted that lost their jobs. And that happened, they did. They put those precautions in place. Well, they're starting to be lifted. And now, yeah, you can say, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, I'm sure we'll mention it again here in the last hour, about how there's so many places that they can't even staff and they can't look for employees. Here's a big part of the problem, though. A lot of these places that are desperate for workers still haven't boosted up to a livable wage for a lot of people. So yeah, I mean, it's nice that they didn't get evicted because that's terrible, but the price of rentals is now going up. So if you go back to a job, like even if they say, hey, come back, and it, like Sheetz is offering, I saw this, Sheetz is doing a summer stimulus hiring, whatever, and they raised it $2 an hour. They raised it $2 an hour, which is good. I mean, good for them. And I mean, Sheetz, from what I understand, is actually a fairly decent employer and takes fairly decent care of their employees. And so now there's an opportunity to jump in and go to a Sheetz and make $2 more an hour. So that's great. During the course of a day, you may make, if you're doing an 8-hour shift, you make $16 extra. After you're done paying taxes on that, it's like 10. So, in best case scenario, maybe you're making $50 more a week. Well, when rent prices go up by $200 on a place that was exactly, similar, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom place that you were looking at, who wins?
I know.
Who wins? I know. And look, I'm not dogging landlords. I mean, like I said, I have a piece of property, I rent it out, now I'm trying to sell it. So I get it, the idea of saying to a tenant, hey, you know what? The price has gone up by $150, $200 a month because that's what the market will bear. Well, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Well, great, I just got I got a job where I got a $2 an hour raise, and I'm going to hand it right back over. Like, there's no way for people to win this battle.
I know when the gas industry first came in here and they started drilling, the landlords were evicting people, or not even, they give them a lease, say, for 6 months, and then when that 6 months was up, they were throwing them out. Apartments that were really not even nice, and so they could rent it to drillers. And all these people all of a sudden found themselves homeless with absolutely nowhere to go because all the rents went sky high, and it was gouging,
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to gouge the gas industry, and to hell with the people that have lived perhaps in that house or apartment for years and were good tenants, and, well, no, I can charge double of what you're paying, so see ya.
I know when they started drilling out towards the intersection of 50 and 79 out there in the Clarksburg area, there was an abandoned hotel. I mean, it looked like Bates Motel. It was not good. Not good. Somebody bought that thing, brought it back to life, and was charging an astronomical amount because they were all pipeline workers.
Yep.
I mean, it was just like they probably bought it, rented it, and got out in a year of what they put into it. It's unbelievable. So yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, we'll raise it over here, but still getting hosed over here. The person that's not keeping it is you, and that's not going to help. It's not going to help. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We come back, we'll get to the 4 o'clock hour, and we've got some sports stories, a breaking sports story too, right here on the Watchdog.
Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. The World Health Organization now says that a COVID-19 variant found in India is a global concern.
In a briefing on Monday, the WHO says it's continuing to study the B1617 variant first discovered in India. Maria Van Kerkhove with the WHO.
There is some available information to suggest increased transmissibility of B1617.
She says researchers are working to learn more about the variant. She says there's nothing to suggest at this point that the vaccines currently available and other prevention methods such as masks and social distancing are ineffective. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
President Biden today saying that because of the American Rescue Plan, forecasters are projecting the fastest economic growth in nearly 40 years. The president rolling out $350 billion in federal funding to state, local, and tribal governments.
The money we're going to be distributing now, is going to make it possible for an awful lot of educators, first responders, sanitation workers to go back to work.
The president also talking about that hack attack on the major fuel pipeline that feeds the Northeast. The FBI blames the Eastern European criminal gang DarkSide.
So far, there is no evidence based on from our intelligence people that Russia is involved, although there's evidence that the actors' ransomware is in Russia. They have some responsibility to deal with this.
Israel's prime minister says his country will respond with great force after Hamas fired rockets on Jerusalem and southern Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu says the attack crossed a, quote, red line. State Department spokesman Ned Price.
While we urge de-escalation on all sides, we also recognize Israel's legitimate right to defend itself, to defend its people and its territory.
All of this as protests in Jerusalem at a Muslim holy site left another 300 Palestinians and over a dozen Israeli soldiers injured. In the Strait of Hormuz, a U.S. Coast Guard cutter fired off 30 warning shots at 13 Iranian fast attack boats. They attacked the warships. You're listening to ABC News.
Hello, good neighbor. Pat Boone here. You know, for years I've been warning Americans about the secret war on cash by big government, targeting your money and your privacy. Now, recent reports confirm that some banks are refusing to cash checks, and cash is being confiscated from innocent citizens. I'm serious. It's truly shocking. The folks at Swiss America have detailed all the dirty little government secrets in their free report, The Secret War on Cash, and it's available now by calling 800-630-1492. Why don't you write that down, 800-630-1492? Because time's running out to take action. Don't become the next victim in this battle. Get The Secret War on Cash. Call 800-630-1492. And be sure to tell them Pat Boone gave you this number, 800-630-1492. 800-630-1492.
With coronavirus vaccination numbers dropping, there are some new incentives to get the jab, some aimed at commuters.
Anyone who agrees to get a single-dose Johnson & Johnson shot at a subway or commuter rail station in and around New York City will get free rides.
If the region is really going to recover, we need as many people as possible to get the vaccine.
Interim Subway Chief Sarah Feinberg said the newly vaccinated will get a free 7-day Metro card for subway rides or 2 free one-way trips aboard Long Island Railroad and Metro North commuter rails.
Why wouldn't you do it? No excuse. You're walking there anyway?
The vaccination rate is down. Governor Andrew Cuomo said we have to get the numbers up. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Another big media group says it's snubbing the organization that gives out some major awards.
Warner Media, which includes HBO, joining the growing boycott against the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, the group behind the Golden Globes. Warner Media teaming up with Netflix and Amazon and saying no more special HFPA media days or press conferences, cutting off the group's access to stars. Warner Media saying in a letter to the HFPA that the group's recent proposed changes to make its membership more diverse didn't go far enough fast enough, and called out the HFPA for asking racially insensitive, sexist, and homophobic questions during press conferences. The HFPA has been under fire for, among other things, having no black members. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
Variety is now reporting NBC says it won't air the Globes next year. On Wall Street, stocks lower, the NASDAQ off 350 points. This is ABC News.
Why so serious? So raise no glass if you are wrong, and
Spilled your drink? Quick! The Quicker Picker-Upper. Bounty picks up spills and messes quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading value brand. So you can get back to the party. Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
This is ONN. On the Ohio News Network, I'm Daniel Barnett.
People may have different comfort levels when it comes to getting back to a new normal without worrying as much about the coronavirus. Angela Ann with affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus has the take from a local doctor.
Dr. Anoop Kanodia of Ohio Health says the easiest thing to do when it comes to your safety is to really check with the latest CDC guidance.
Your life is pretty much almost back to normal to a large extent after the vaccine. And your kids' lives are close to normal too, in many regards, because of they have less chance of getting infection, and if they do get the infection, a lot less chance of getting a serious infection.
56% of American adults have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. I'm Angela Ann.
And the Ohio School Board Association has a new president. ONN's Eric Brown explains.
Robert Hurd will take over as president after the resignation of Scott Huddle. The Dayton Daily News reports that at a Mad River School Board meeting, Huddle said there was no evidence of systemic racism after a school newsletter was distributed with columns, poetry, and discussion questions about diversity. He compared the newsletter to critical race theory, calling it reverse discrimination and comparing the articles to Nazi education. Hurd primarily serves as a member of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District Board of Education. Eric Brown, ONN News.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Stand by. You're back to live and local programming in moments on the Watchdog.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, so come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need, like a gas model RAV with up to $1,250 cash back, or a Camry with up to $1,750 cash back, or go with a Corolla and take up to $2,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, but where it goes is up to you. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need to take on anything the season has in store, like a spacious Highlander or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, both with up to $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your start to the work week. Clouds and sunshine mixing. Daytime highs near 60 degrees. Overnight low rather chilly, near 37. Under partly cloudy skies. Clouds and sunshine mixing again for your Tuesday, with highs in the upper 50s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. News, talk, sports, and rock is all right here. Right now. Back to Real Big Talk with Big Rick on the Watchdog.
Raven hair and ruby lips, sparks fly from her fingertips. Echoed voices in the night. She's a restless spirit on an endless flight. Ooh, witchy woman, see how high she flies. Ooh,
It's 4:10 Monday afternoon. Welcome back. I'm Rick. That's Lola. Real Big Talk continues here on the Watchdog. 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600. Anybody want to get in on any of the conversations we've already had or something we're going to get into this hour? We'd love to have your opinion. You can also message us at our Facebook page. And while you're on the information superhighway, check out www.watchdognetwork.com. If you haven't been there in a while, we have a newly redesigned website, easy to use. You can go over there and participate as well. Plus, you can stream it from anywhere with the watchdognetwork.com. Yesterday was Mother's Day. Yesterday, Dr. Fauci said he predicts by next Mother's Day that everything will be back to normal. I mean, do you even like hearing stuff like this anymore? It's like...
No, just keep them all off the air. Because, too, the messages coming out are so mixed.
Yeah.
That the old, was he a director of the CDC or something? One of those, NIH, I don't know. He's saying, all the mandates should be gone by like the end of this month. And then we have Jim with his photo op on the 20th, that we have to wait for. But
it's maddening. There's too much information.
And then, did you hear about DeSantis?
Which thing?
Carnival has,
Oh, yeah, I did hear about this.
To be able to dock in the United States again. And one of the CDC's mandates for them is that everybody, employees and people on the boat, have to be vaccinated. So DeSantis has lifted all mandates in Florida now. A county can't have one. A city can't have one. They're all gone. So Carnival says, look, you can't enforce that on our boats because the CDC won't let us come here if we don't have this. So now, you got Carnival Cruise Lines fighting with DeSantis over, and to me, really, that should be an easy thing. Carnival is a private business. If Carnival wants to institute that kind of thing, then it's their business. But here's DeSantis saying, no, if you require vaccinations for every person that gets on that boat, then you can't come here and load.
And you would think, let's just consider this. How many people have ever gone on a cruise, and there's a good chance when you left from Florida? I mean, the cruise industry for Florida, not only that, but Florida gets a little taste, too, on each end because you usually go the day before and stay in a hotel. You eat dinner there, and then when you get off the ship, you usually stay another day until you make your trek home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not just the situation they have in place with the cruise lines. It's the fact that some people go to Florida and spend more time in Florida off the boat.
Yeah.
And that is such a big thing. Like, I guess, I mean, again, there was never a playbook for something like this because, we poorly saw it coming. But now it is going to change a lot of things. And there are plenty of states with ports that would be like, welcome Carnival Cruise Line. They're going to wheel out the red carpet.
I think Baltimore is one that you can drive to, get on a cruise ship and take a Caribbean cruise.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, this is, for what I think this will all shake out because Florida and Carnival have too much to lose by not making this something that can work out. But I also think, too, with what you said about Ron DeSantis, is that he wants to run for president.
He wants to run for emperor.
Well, yes. I mean, that's moreover emperor of world. But, the people of Florida are loving DeSantis right now. They're loving what he's doing. He's very popular in Florida right now. So he is starting to feel that opportunity may strike for him to run for president. And that will have a lot to do with what Donald Trump has to say about it or injects himself into that pool. But again, it's only 2021, but DeSantis is certainly heading in that direction. And this is an interesting time for him because, yeah, he is very popular in the state of Florida now, but if some of these mandates start costing the state business, think about how many people, I mean, part of this giant crunch in the unemployment world has been industry workers on cruise lines. There's a lot of cruises. There's a lot of people on cruises. That's everybody from the busboy to the entertainers to the captain. There's a lot of people on cruise ships. It's not just like Love Boat, like, oh, look, they have 5 employees on this giant ship. There's a ton of employees. And so if those types of things find their way out of Florida, that will make him less popular. And right now, he honestly seems like a vanity guy who loves.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he loves getting looks right now. I mean, look, Jim Justice, for all intents and purposes, yeah, I mean, it's not like Florida has the booming, or West Virginia has the same booming travel industry that Florida has. But we saw Governor Justice. He was very happy to be America's darling there for a couple of months. Very happy. To the point where he got on such a roll that he was just like, the hell with it. Let's get rid of the taxes too. I mean, just, I'm at the craps table. Shake them up, shake them up, shake. So I think DeSantis is feeling that now. If whatever happens and cruise ships are stopped sailing out of Florida, that is not good for business. That is not good for business. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, over the weekend, and this is how we got into this conversation, Fauci says he thinks that maybe next Mother's Day everything will be back to normal. That to me is, again, for all, obviously I respect the hell out of the science. I respect the science so much. But I also realize he's playing this in real time. Like, I get new numbers every day, and then I have to decide what it is. I wish they would stop asking.
Yeah.
I wish he just sat back in some sort of nerdatorium and crunched COVID numbers alone. Because every time he says something, he becomes less believable. To me, not about the science. The science, I believe he was accurate on all the science. I mean, maybe not no mask, mask, 2 mask. I mean, exhausting. But the fact this guy is a very brilliant man. So I don't doubt how smart he is. I just think it's been a bad play to continuously go, here's a date we're trying to get to, because it keeps backfiring. He did also say this weekend that he feels like indoor mask mandates will be lightening up very soon. Now, I don't think they're going away, but they will drop a little bit and it will be a little bit easier. When, again, I think it's all done in real time. I think he gets data every day. He also, and part of his conversation was mask could be something that we want to do
forever.
Well, he said seasonally.
Yes.
I got to say this. Not having the flu, now I get the flu shot, but not having the flu is nice. I mean, it's kind of nice. The byproduct of wearing the mask is the flu pretty much went away this year. So, again, how does the flu go away and the COVID still fly? I have no idea. I'm not a scientist, but that part has been nice that the flu went away. I don't know. I mean, do I want to wear a mask? No, I don't ever want to wear another mask. What will I do with all these? I have like 5 masks. What will I do with them? I just burn them at the stake. But I kind of wish he would stop saying these things because I think it gives people the wrong impression.
Absolutely. Every single day, some news show, whether it's, no matter what network it is, parades these guys out, whether it's Fauci or it's that woman from the CDC that just drives me. I just want to,
Oh, yeah.
She drives me crazy. or other people, every single one of them has not real contradictory remarks, but different.
They're
You
all
know,
in a different place on the timeline.
yeah, and so just shut up.
Yeah.
You know, and the way they keep throwing all these numbers, 70%, then it's 60%, then it's 65%, then it's, 50 per 100,000 people, then it goes up to 60 before. Just shut up. Just tell me when I can stop being, wearing a mask everywhere I go, and that's not, truthfully, that's not going to change. My sister works at a Super 8. Well, that's part of Wyndham's. They can lift the mask mandate here all they want. Wyndham's will probably keep it in place, which I find rather redundant because the desk workers are behind plexiglass. Now, seems to me that plexiglass is going to stop any bug that happens to come out of your either side, you know, but she figures she's going to end up having to wear a mask at work because they've got security cameras. Otherwise,
Yeah, I was going to say, there's
But-
cameras.
But so it's going to depend on the business. And I've seen some, like in Texas and Florida, where they're posting signs, mask optional. You don't have to wear one if you want to come in the store or whatever it is. So I just wish everybody just get on the same page. And truthfully, just be quiet. Just be quiet for a little while.
Yeah, I wish he would make himself not available. That would be the best.
Yes, stop saying yes.
Put a little sign on your door that says, Fauci
fishing.
Fauci in progress. Just keep moving. Yeah, I don't want to hear about it anymore until he can come out and say, you know what? Stop wearing your damn mask. Then stay in your office. Just stay in the nerdatorium. Be real smart. Count COVID deaths, whatever it is that you're doing in there. Because again, I respect the hell out of the guy. He is brilliant. But I just don't want to keep now. It's like think about a year from now. A year, we might be normal. Now, I don't trust that at all.
I don't want to hear it, period. Whether it might be true or not, I don't want to hear it.
And the weekend that I spent inside an axe throwing facility. And most people abided by the rules when they weren't drinking. They put their mask back up. I continuously talked on Saturday for 8 hours. I mean, it was an 8-hour broadcast. So I couldn't. I'm not doing that. Here, no big deal. It's 3 hours a day, and we're separated, and we're vaccinated, so it doesn't matter. But I don't know 90% of the people that I was near this weekend. But everybody still, when they weren't drinking or eating, they slid their mask back up. And I was thinking to myself, does that even really matter at this point? Like if you bring your mask down, you're talking to your friends, you're eating off the same pizza, you're drinking a beer anyway. Let's face it, the splash zone is still available. Like, does this really matter? It's like this. Now it got to the point where it was like, this is just stupid. Like, just take them off. We're all in here together.
See, that's how I look at sports too. These guys that have been working out together, they're in the locker rooms together. Hopefully, most of these teams now, and I'm talking about pros, are vaccinated. And yet, you got to wear your mask on the sidelines. For whom?
I know.
For whom? Everybody is vaccinated. Everybody has been tested until they've got no snot left in their nose. I think it's to just make a show of it.
Yeah. No, I agree. My mom said if they come to me with that stick one more time, I'm gonna bop them on the head. I say, I'm sure, because they check them every couple days. We'll take this break. We'll come back. We'll get into a few other topics. We'll also talk about sports too. There is a breaking sports story out there that we'll talk about here before the end of the show, right here on the Watchdog.
We all know that restaurants and other businesses are having a hard time finding employees in this post-pandemic world. Is it because of too generous unemployment benefits from the federal government, or are there other factors at work? Tomorrow on the Watchdog Morning Show, we'll talk with WVU economist John Deskins about his thoughts on that subject. Also tomorrow morning, we'll check in with our national correspondent, Tom Squitieri, on the latest happening in the political world. And your calls and your texts and my opinions. Howard Monroe here. See you in the morning, 7 o'clock, the Watchdog Morning Show.
Maintain your vehicles and get 11% off everything at Menards. Check out the great selection of Valvoline motor oil. It protects against heat, engine deposits, and wear. It also helps maintain fuel efficiency for the life of the oil. Valvoline full synthetic motor oil is $4.99 a quart after 11% rebate. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through May 15th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need. Like a gas model RAV with up to $1,250 cash back. Or a Camry with up to $1,750 cash back. Or go with a Corolla and take up to $2,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, but where it goes is up to you. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need to take on anything the season has in store, like a spacious Highlander or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, both with up to $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
Oh, there's something so real about living local, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I'm living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
The timeless sounds of polka live here. Join us 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays for the Polka Showcase with Rich Biella. Sunday mornings never sounded so good.
Oh, you're gonna take me home tonight. Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you're gonna let it all hang out. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Hey, I was just a skinny lad, never knew no good from bad, but I knew life before I left my nursery. Left alone with big fat fatty, she was such a naughty natty. You big woman, you ain't a bad boy out of me. Hey, I'll be sitting with my bed, cross my wire across the land. I've seen every blue-eyed Fuji on the way.
That's Lil Rick, Real Big Talk here on the Watchdog. And one of the things that we talked about, I think it was just last week, and I can't remember which one. I think it was one of our regular callers. Well, we were talking about the wall that was the Trump wall. And again, in theory, I tend to agree. I thought the idea of increased border security is a good thing. I just thought the wall itself was dumb because, again, you can go over a wall or you can go under it. And I know it came up last week, and then I saw this story and I went, here is your perfect example of why and how some of these things absolutely don't work. El Chapo, our favorite drug lord, El Chapo, he had a drug running tunnel underneath the Mexican National Guard headquarters. It was underneath. So they didn't notice because it happened right under their nose.
Well, that's how he got out of prison or escaped jail.
Well, I understand.
They had a tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he had a series of tunnels, but this one, they just found one underneath the Mexican National Guard. This is not news. I mean, tunnels have been a thing that people have used. I mean, really, in Marietta, Ohio, there is a house that actually had one of the underground railroad tunnels in it. Now, it's since been blocked off, and it's a pretty historical house, but I mean, just a resident owns it and lives there, and they had it, sealed off. But think about that. We've not stopped doing the tunnel thing as a society. It doesn't matter where we are. And El Chapo had one going right underneath the Mexican National Guard headquarters, and nobody knew. Nobody knew. What, I mean, just, this whole, El Chapo is very fascinating. I'm not giving him a pat on the back about the things that he did. I'm not doing that. But the story is very fascinating. The fact that I still don't think he, gets that he's in jail for life. Like, you're a criminal. Like, you're not getting out. And his wife just got arrested, I think, too, a couple months ago. So it's not like but they say he's very pleasant. They say El Chapo is quite nice. I don't know. I never met the guy. Although, do you remember when, because it was Sean Penn. Wasn't it Sean Penn that did the interview with El Chapo?
I don't know.
I think it was. I think Sean Penn did an interview with El Chapo and was like, I'll never tell him where you are. It's just me and a camera person. Meet me here and blah, 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 blah. And then Sean Penn turned around and was like, yeah, El Chapo. He's at 123 Mockingbird Lane or whatever it was. That's like, it was Sean. Like, were you telling me Sean Penn is the one that infiltrated Spicoli? Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High is the one that helped bring El Chapo down. I still find that to be very fascinating. This is interesting too. General Motors Defense unveils electric infantry squad vehicle for the U.S. Army. So basically, this is a modified. It's a cross between a Humvee and a Jeep, and it's very. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is incredibly cool looking. Like, if I had one, I would be so pumped. I would be tearing up everything. But the idea of an electric Army vehicle kind of frightens me, because they don't have power stations everywhere Army vehicles have to go. You can carry extra gas cans.
Yeah.
You can't really carry extra power. I mean, I guess maybe if you had a rack full of backup I don't know. But the thing is awesome looking. GM is supposed to build 250 of these. They basically are, the high-performance trucks are based on the Chevy Colorado ZR2 and normally powered by a 2.8-liter turbo diesel, but the four-cylinder engine has been replaced with the E-Crate electric drivetrain conversion kit, and GM will soon be offering an aftermarket product for these custom-built cars. So we're essentially at some point going to see a vehicle like this that will be available. It won't look like this, I'm sure, but it will be built in a similar fashion, available for everyday drivers. And again, we talked about it before. Affording the electric car is something that most people can't do, and we're looking to make electric cars all the rage by 2030. I still don't see that math adding up. Again, I'm not a mathematician, but how do you make an affordable electric car for the masses? I mean, even if you have a decent job, I mean, Teslas are $100,000, and I know Tesla's not the only one, but they're just that much more expensive. Part of the infrastructure plan is to put these charging stations everywhere, except nobody has these cars.
I know.
And it's just nobody has them. And if you don't make them affordable, which as of now, they're really not. I mean, I'm not getting a Chevy Cruze electric vehicle, and that's no insult to the Chevy Cruze. It's just, I don't fit in one. Like, that's not the right vehicle for everyone. I mean, there's a reason that they come in all different shapes and sizes. Some things need to be used for different things. Now, right now, it probably would help me because of all the driving I'm doing, and the fact that gas is over $3 a gallon doesn't help. But it's just not the right vehicle for everybody. You can't just go buy the cheapest one and go, okay, well, I'm electric compliant. But for the military, if I'm in the military, I'm going to go, and what am I supposed to do with this out in the middle of the desert? What am I supposed to do with it? What if it just stops? It goes, by the way, I did find this out. They're saying right now it could go up to 100, between 170, between 70 and 150 miles. That to me just seems like, I go back and forth to work, and I'm at 75 miles round trip.
You're going to have to you'd have to stop and charge it when you got here and charge it, when you get home.
Yeah, unless they're putting a charging station in, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And these men and women are going to drive this thing out in the desert? Are you out of your mind? You may want to go back to the drawing board on this, GM. I don't think that's quite enough. We're going to take the break. We'll come back. We'll do some sports stuff, and I will finally release this incredibly breaking story. You know what? We got a phone call coming in. We'll just check this before we go ahead and take that break. But yeah, I don't know. To me, I just don't see it as something that I would want out there in the middle of the desert. We'll go ahead and we're going to take a break. Come back. We'll finish up the show right here on the Watchdog.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. The new owner of the Charleston Town Center Mall says he's excited about the possibilities. Jim Hull, owner of Hull Property Group, saying earlier today on Metro News affiliate WCHS Radio, the mall did not start struggling overnight, and it will take time for it to hit a new stride.
What we've got to do is figure out what makes sense, and that's not something I can come up with. That's we've got to figure it out, and that's all real estate is unique. The Charleston Town Center is uniquely located.
You can read more on the purchase at WVMetroNews.com. Governor Jim Justice urging adults to help out when the CDC approves COVID-19 vaccinations for those between the ages of 12 and 15.
Help us get those kids vaccinated. Those kids need protected. You need protected. And with all that being said, the kids, from the side effects that they could possibly get and everything from this, in every way need vaccination.
Justice expects CDC approval any day now. Out of the spotlight, the RISE Flood Recovery Program has made good progress during the past year. The program that focuses on rebuilding homes following the 2016 flood was the subject of a report today before state lawmakers. This reaction from Senate Minority Leader Stephen Baldwin.
You all have made tremendous progress in RISE throughout the pandemic, where a lot of folks have really struggled. RISE has excelled.
Brad McElhaney writes more about it at our website this hour. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. There are dozens of historical highway markers erected across West Virginia. Now there's a new book to explain them. State Curator for the Arts, Randall Reed Smith, says the old book just needed replaced.
The book has not been made since 2002, so we needed to update it.
Now, State Transportation Secretary Byrd White's a fan.
I read a good portion of it last weekend and found lots of things about West Virginia that I didn't know, and I've lived here a long, long time.
The new book, $12.95 each. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit has failed a post-race drug test, and Churchill Downs has suspended Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert. Baffert was surprised to learn the horse had tested positive for the steroid.
Been served by the Kentucky Race Commission that Medina Spirit, our Derby horse, had been tested positive for 21 picograms of betamethasone. All I can tell you is that betamethasone, even though it's an allowed drug, therapeutic medication, we did not give it. My veterinarian, nobody here, that matter of fact, Medina Spirit has never been treated with betamethasone.
If the results are upheld, Medina Spirit would be stripped of the title. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emu wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Sorry to interrupt your jams, murder mystery podcasts, or motivational beach noises, but we got something else you might like to hear. It's called Cash. That's the sound of an extra $250 after your first 10 deliveries with Uber Eats. That's right, an extra $250 on top of all the other cash you'll make during those first 10 deliveries. If that sounds good, visit t.uber.com/extra 250. Uber Eats, deliver with us. Limited time offer, terms apply. See t.uber.com/extra 250.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need. Like a gas model RAV with up to $1,250 cash back. Or a Camry with up to $1,750 cash back. Or go with a Corolla and take up to $2,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, but where it goes is up to you. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need to take on anything the season has in store, like a spacious Highlander or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, both with up to $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together we will get through this.
We all know that restaurants and other businesses are having a hard time finding employees in this post-pandemic world. Is it because of too generous unemployment benefits from the federal government, or are there other factors at work? Tomorrow on the Watchdog Morning Show, we'll talk with WVU economist John Deskins about his thoughts on that subject. Also tomorrow morning, we'll check in with our national correspondent Tom Squidieri on the latest happening in the political world. And your calls and your texts and my opinions. Howard Monroe here. See you in the morning, 7 o'clock, the Watchdog Morning Show.
I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day's through. Yes, I admit that I'm able for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Be sure it's night is dark and day is light. I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Because you're mine.
Welcome back to the Watchdog. I'm Big Rick. That's Lola getting ready to wrap up the show. I pride myself in knowing every song that Lola kicks off the segments with. Obviously, it's a remake of Johnny Cash's I Walk the Line. I'm going to say, and this is just based on voice alone, is that Chris Daughtry?
Yes.
Oh! Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you almost did. You almost did. Chris Daughtry. But boy, he's an interesting story. The guy was... he didn't win American Idol. In fact, I think he came in like, I don't know, 8th. Like it was like, he wasn't like 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, I don't think.
That's a benefit.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of times people that don't win actually go on to have better careers. And he's one of them. Still cranks out music, still goes and puts on rock shows. I mean, he's doing just fine, but I kind of like that version. I mean,
I do.
Yeah, it's not the Johnny Cash version, but it's in Social Distortion, one of my favorite bands ever. They also do a version of that, but yeah, he's pretty good. Did you watch Saturday Night Live? Did you see Elon Musk?
I saw the clips of it. he was a lot better than I thought he would be. And it's wonderful to see that he has such a sense of humor.
That's what he was banking on. Let's face it, when Saturday Night Live decided that Elon Musk was going to host, they had immediate backlash from a lot of their actors. In fact, which this seems so un-Lorne Michaels to do, Saturday Night Live's producers and Lorne Michaels offered actors that did not want to be in scenes with Elon Musk a safe space. They didn't have to be around him if they did not want to. And the big argument was, he said in the past, he has said some things that were perceived as homophobic. He also had a pretty terrible response to COVID and telling people that it was not as big a deal as it was, and blah, 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 blah. And so a lot of the actors didn't want to act with him. I will say this, I haven't thought SNL was funny since Chris Farley and Adam Sandler. So, to me, it has mightily struggled to be something that I overly watch. If I see a funny clip, I will be happy to watch it. There's a very funny clip, What's Up With That is very funny. I will, when they make a new one of those with Keenan, I will watch that because I think that is hilarious. But for the most part, I don't find it to be that entertaining of a show. Most people, I think, are probably joining me in saying that, but the ratings say otherwise. Big ratings for Elon Musk, and that's what they were banking on both. Saturday Night Live needed him to boost ratings. He needed to appear to be human, and that's exactly what Lola just said, who knew he was so funny and, was better than I thought. He needed that. Because he can be this SpaceX, Tesla billionaire, and he can do whatever he wants, and let's just face it, that's pretty much what he does. But he also has taken a trend to be unlikable in a lot of communities, and that is why he went there. He also revealed that he has Asperger's, which is, I know a couple of people that suffer from that. And now that he said it, you can kind of see it. I'm not making light of it in any way, shape, or form, but it does explain some of his behaviors. So it was a big night for SNL and for Elon Musk. Big ratings and a big win in the audience front for them. What else is going on in the world? There was a coffee shop. A coffee shop owner was a franchised coffee shop. The owner went on an anti-LeBron rant on social media. The coffee franchise pulled the franchise from the franchisee for having negative comments about LeBron. To me, I think that's complete BS. I think at some point, and where does this end, I guess, is the way. Good, bad, or indifferent, if you're not going to be able to say things, that's a personal responsibility. You mentioned it a few times today, personal responsibility. It might be bad for business, but it's your business. It's your coffee shop that closes. But there also are a lengthy list of rules that you have to abide by when you take on being a franchise. I know somebody that owns 3 McDonald's. They follow everything to the letter. McDonald's comes in and says, this is not okay. This is not something that you can do. So I get it. And that's really the only real franchise person that I know. But there are rules. Conduct unbecoming. And that's where you get. Whoever would have thought LeBron James would be the reason that so many people are losing jobs and, getting book deals? That cop that made fun of him got a book deal after he got fired. That's what I mean. You think about a few things that have happened here. And I'm not saying the big things. People getting killed by police officers and police officers getting shot by people. All these things are bad. They're bad, and those are the more concerning things. But just in a couple of, a month's time, maybe a month and a half, you had that royal interview that caused Sharon Osbourne to lose her job, Piers Morgan to lose his job, and the fallout continues from all of that. And if you commented on it, it became an issue. And then LeBron does something dumb, and it's cost people their jobs. They make fun of him. They lose their coffee franchise. Like, we are in a never-ending cycle of just BS.
Yep.
That is unreal. The amount of things that have just transpired for that spiral into other things that never actually have to happen. That's the shocking part. That's the shocking part. If you're associated to something, my goodness, we run a disclaimer before our shows. Whatever's said on this show doesn't necessarily reflect the ownership and sponsors and whatever. I mean, everybody should be running that in front of everything they say. I think everything should just have a disclaimer on it. This doesn't represent the so-and-so coffee company, whatever.
Because people have too much time on their hands, and they've got a weapon in their hand.
Yeah.
All they got to do is get on social media, right, wrong, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. They can blast anybody for anything, and if you can say enough outrageous things, it's going to spread like wildfire.
Yeah, it is. It's unreal. It's unreal. I just think about all the things my dad used to say. Thank God social media didn't exist when my father was alive. Although he would have been, I think he would have had a lot of followers and made a lot of enemies. Because they would have, some of the things he said were absolutely hilarious. They were also incredibly inappropriate. Do we need to take one more break before we go to the end? Okay, let's keep going. That was something that happened. Again, LeBron James, just a lightning rod. You mention his name and something good's going to happen, something bad's going to happen, but something is going to happen. South Carolina is observing Confederate Memorial Day. That's a thing. I know, just drop your head. That's a thing. I will say this. I acknowledge the lives of people that fought for something. Their lives should be acknowledged in some way, shape, or form. But 2021 seems like a weird year to go out and say, you know what, we're going to shut down all the buildings and we're going to have this day. It seemed like an odd time to do it. But I guess that's just where we are. Wendy Bell, she is a controversial talk show host from Pittsburgh. She has been on several different stations, started in TV, then went to KDKA, most notably, and then she was fired for insensitive comments there. She's been fired again. And I think that was maybe 1 month after being hired full-time. She went to WJS 1 day a week and then 1 hour a day, and then got hired full-time last month. She has already been removed from that station. I'm not sure why, but that is a big thing that's trending right now. In my opinion, and I don't know her, she might be a nice lady. I have no idea. All I can say is this: that's a lot of jobs to burn through in a quick amount of time. And she has national aspirations. I mean, here's what I see happening. Whether it be Newsmax or Fox News, because that's the way she leans, if you're not familiar with who she is, she's going to look like a martyr. And I would imagine
she'll be on Fox and Friends in no time.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So keep an eye out for that. I mentioned the big. There's a couple more things I wanted to get to before we did sports real quick. I mentioned Chick-fil-A. Yeah, if you go to Chick-fil-A, your sauces will be cut down to a minimum of sauces. There is a sauce shortage for that, which I thought was weird. The NCAA Division III Men's Golf Championship happening in Ogle Bay. That starts tomorrow, so that will be on. Hopefully we get, it sounds like when we talked to Bob at WTRF, we'll have at least decent weather to be able to do that. Last time I played at Crispin, and I know they're playing on a different course, but the course was in really good shape, so I don't think they'll have any issue as far as that goes. There was a violent attack on High Street in Morgantown. Again, I don't want to live there ever again, but when it gets dark in Morgantown, and High Street is where all the bars are. I actually used to work on High Street. Somebody just got pulled out of their vehicle and beat the hell out of it. And you know what there is? 15 videos. You know what there's not? Anybody in trouble, because they just video it now. They don't stop somebody from getting dragged out of their car. I mean, High Street on a Saturday night, I can't, look, the things I've seen, my eyes I can't relive them. But yeah, there's plenty of videos. but absolutely nothing. Nobody even. It's unreal. It's unreal. I don't miss it at all. I don't mean to just trash that place. It's just not the place for me. The China rocket that was falling from the sky.
It fell.
Everybody lived. It fell into the Indian Ocean, though. They did say it was going to fall in the Pacific, so it did actually change course a little bit. China is blaming the U.S. for creating it, making it a much bigger story than it had to be. Well,
That's,
yeah.
okay.
But-
They had to film the news.
Yeah, they had to film the news, but yeah, so they are blaming America for making it a bigger story. But I mean, really, the idea of it, and it did a lot of it crushed up in its return to the atmosphere. So there wasn't much of it, but it did turn into quite a story. Last couple of minutes here, we'll talk sports. The Stanley Cup playoffs have not yet been determined, so we of course will keep you posted on that. We are your home for the Penguins, so we'll have as many Penguin games as we can to keep that going, and hopefully the Penguins will be able to move on. I mean, they look sharp. I mean, they won the division. I mean, they look sharp.
Who won the conference?
Well,
Who got the President's Cup?
Who did get the President's Cup? It wasn't a Canadian team. Let me check. We do have baseball, by the way. That is going to happen Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here on the Watchdog. Looks like the first two games, Tuesday and Friday, they're going to be 7 o'clock against Marshall tomorrow. WVU's baseball team has not had a great season. Looking to turn around against Marshall, and then they have 3 against Miami of Ohio, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think the NHL season still has a couple of games, so maybe they don't know.
Well, it's just, you always heard about the President's Cup curse.
Yeah, well, I know the Hurricanes won a lot of games. They have 80 points, so they have 80. Let's see here, 77 for the Penguins, West Division, 80 points for the Golden Knights, North Division, 76 for the Maple Leafs. The Canadian Division's terrible. They're not going to win anything. But I do think that all the games. No, they're not all over. That's why we haven't heard who won the Penguins are over. And boy, that's a healthy time for the Penguins. I mean, it's going to cut one of two things. It's either going to slow them down tremendously because they haven't been playing. Although I do believe all the Penguins are getting vaccinated to make sure that they won't have those sort of issues during the playoffs. So that's good. But yeah, they haven't. They're either going to sit idle too long and lose it, or they're going to be completely healthy when they go back out there. And the big sports story of the day as we get ready to wrap it up for the afternoon. There will be Tebowing again in the NFL. Tim Tebow signing a 1-year deal with the Jaguars to become a tight end on the team. So I know. Tim Tebow.
I'm sorry.
Tight end Tim Tebow. There you go.
Another one that just won't go away.
He will not go gently into that good night. So there you go. There's your big sports story for the day. For Lola, I'm Rick. You guys have a fantastic rest of your evening. WTRF News is coming up next, and we'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. on the Watchdog.